Do you need an action?
Yes.
Action.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
All right. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
For those of you who have been with us for a while, thank you so much for coming back. Yes, thank you. Thank you. We couldn't do this without you guys. Also, for those of you who are maybe new, about time. I'm kidding, no. Welcome, guys, but I think we need to actually introduce ourselves, don't we?
So, I'm Ceirra.
I'm Stan.
And you're watching the Hardly Famous Vlog.
Jinxing everything.
Your finger was in my face.
It was, and it liked it.
Scared me.
It did?
It scared me.
It did?
Yes.
You promise?
So, welcome back. Today is obviously Monday, and you're probably watching this because you love Adulting Mondays as much as we do. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get a job in your 20s.
Oh, no.
How to get a job, getting a job, finding a job, whatever, phrase you want to use. We're going to be talking about that today.
That's today?
That's today.
Oh,
That's a part of being an adult, Stan.
Why?
Because the world is cruel and they hate us. And the law says that when we're 18, we're technically adults and our parents have the right to kick us out.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What kind of world is this, man?
It's
anyway.
America. First things first, when it comes to finding a job in your 20s, you want to look at whether that job is going to be just a standard 9 to 5 or it's actually something that is towards the career path that you want to go down.
First things first, guys, resumes. Okay, now, if you're of, I would probably say the 96% of people in their early to mid-20s, I bet you guys have never had an actual job.
If you did, you probably worked 3 hours at Pizza Hut or,
Dairy Queen,
babysat or something, or found, a job at Big Five or something based on whatever you wanted to do at the time, whatever discounts were available for students. Whatever it was, you probably did something in high school that made a little bit of money for you, but it wasn't enough to actually do anything with. Some of you guys tried to, save up money during the summer for college, and that's great and all, but now you're in your 20s and you have to actually live on your own, because some people have parents who don't want them in the house. They're like, you're an adult, you had sex, you did drugs and drank in college. If you didn't, you probably did. You probably were around people that did. Who cares? I don't care. I'm going into this with Kevin Hart.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, hi, Kevin.
It's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Get out my face.
Any type of voluntary extracurricular activities, any type of stuff, use it.
Any special skills that you have. If you're great with computers, if you can use a certain program, if you have cashier experience, if you can do inventory, stock, if you know how to answer phone calls, if you know how to file things.
You know how to talk to people and actually take a bunch of their shit. Yeah. AKA, it's called guest relations.
Customer service. Everybody has their things. It's the same damn thing. You gotta deal with the same old people, taking this sweet old time, trying to make a decision.
Just a bunch of crap to you,
just
a healthy dose of bullshit. Crap. You just have to talk yourself up the storm. And the most you do of that is that, honestly, open up a dictionary, use some fancy lingo.
You want to use words that actually make you sound like you should be hired right on the spot.
Yes.
You want to use, a lot of verbs. When you have your little description of your objective, what do you want to achieve with this job? You want to do a lot of verbs that, really make it sound like you're going to be the best person for that job.
Right. As well as putting, as well as knowing how to sell yourself in the sense of how you can even contribute to this company. If you hire me, this is what you're doing. This is how you're helping this company or this whatever.
So what verbs are you asking that you should use? Well, you should probably open up your Microsoft Word and figure that out for yourself. Or a dictionary. If you don't know how to use a dictionary, well, you just wasted 12 years of your life in school. Or 16 if you went to a 4-year college. 14 if you went to a 2. No one's judging. But if you don't know how to use a dictionary or a thesaurus, ain't our fault. If you've never had a job, don't try to make one up. Be honest.
Yeah.
If they ask for your, your job references and things like that, don't put down your cousin and try to make it seem like they were your supervisor. because you ran a lemonade stand when you were 5 together, and he was your boss.
That got me my last job.
He told you how to make the lemonade properly and whatnot. Don't put him. You are always gonna dress up fancier in your interview than you would at your actual job. I know I did. I took a lot of time to figure out what my interview outfit was.
I look beautiful at my interviews.
It says a lot about you. It says a lot about how you present yourself. If you are able to comply with company policies regarding dress code, if you are able to, be courteous and nice and
show that you care.
Show that you care
about how you look and how you're presented.
Care about how you are seen. That's a big thing. Business casual is usually the kind of thing people stick to. No one's gonna judge you that harshly if you dressed up business casual. Sometimes you may have to dress in full suits. It's just a thing. However, if you have a nice pair of slacks, a nice sweater top, or if you want to do, a button down, make sure it's nice, make sure everything is ironed. There's nothing like, walking into a job interview and looking like you have more crinkles than French fries on your shirt. It's not pleasant.
It's not.
It's not pleasant.
It's not going to get you the job interview.
And ladies, when it comes to your dress code, pants is okay. If you're going to go with dresses, make sure they're appropriate. Are you going to go to church in a stripper's costume?
No, you're not.
No, you're not. If ladies, and I know I do this all the time, if I'm going somewhere important and I can get away with business casual, I will do black jeans. But with the black jeans, you want to make sure they are completely black, or as dark as can be. Flats are okay if you don't want to do heels. Just make sure the flats are dressy enough that you can get away with at an interview. But not so dressy to the point where, you look like you're about to go to grandma's luncheon afterwards.
Exactly.
And men, think about the night before if you're going to shave or not. If you're going to get your hair cut, make sure you do that, either the day before or maybe a few days before. Because some of you guys get haircuts and it doesn't look great, but a few days in, it's like...
And guys, for those of you who work the facial hair just because it honestly just looks better on you, and it's like, no, I look even classier with this. Well, that's fine. Just remember, you have to take care of it. Okay?
Women, groom yourselves too. Do your hair. Make sure you're not wearing a lot of jewelry. Jewelry is seen as a distraction. Once you get the job, whatever. But in the interview, you don't want your interviewer to be looking at your neck constantly because you have like 6 different necklaces on because you're a statement person. You don't want to be talking with your hands a lot and then it's just like jangle, 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 jangle. Rings, make sure you don't have too many rings on. Tattoos,
yes. Okay,
that goes a part of it.
Now, certain companies will have certain guidelines, certain rules against it. Some places, like you go to Hot Topic, they'll probably love it.
But in the interview, cover them up. If it's something that you aren't able to cover up, one of the questions they will ask you is, would you be able to do something about that? I mean, you don't have to go take it off or anything.
No,
but cover up in a way where it won't be super noticeable. It is one of the questions that they'll most likely ask you if it's specific to their company policies that they have to actually enforce.
Interview questions, yes. All right, so typically with the first thing they usually ask is, just tell me something about yourself. Okay, the most simplest type of question. You have no idea how many times you can just ruin your interview by
saying the wrong thing. And when they say tell you something about yourself, you have to take it in the simplest form, as you do with a lot of questions, but you also have to think about it in terms of what information am I about to give them will pertain to the job that I'm trying to get. The job that I went into, furniture retail, I didn't do anything related to furniture retail. So I just basically talked about how I was an actor. And I said stuff about acting because in a way I was going to be a sales associate. So that's something that speaking in front of people, I had to be comfortable speaking in front of people. And because I'm an actor, I have to have that comfortability. So that kind of helped.
When I first started though, honestly, I had no customer service. I started with Universal Studios. So what I actually kept saying was that I did a lot of speech and debate tournaments in high school, which got me in front of several amounts of people. One of the biggest crowds was like about 300 people. I actually had to do a speech. I can't remember the exact subject, but I had to do it, and it was one of those things. I also hosted a lot of entertainment events that the theater company at the school would have. I did plenty of things where just to show that I can talk to people. I can literally just talk and have a connection with people. That's what they want.
That's what they want to make sure that whatever facts you're giving about yourself is going to somehow help you with the job that you're getting. Mm-hmm. Another thing that they're going to ask you, another basic question they're going to ask you is why you want to work there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the question is that you are a big believer in not starving to death. Duh.
No.
That's the big thing. But they don't want to hear that. They don't
want to also hear, like, I'm here for the 20% discount. No.
Because your friend works here and he told you that, they have an amazing discount around the holidays. Mm-hmm. No, they're not going to want to know that. You can say that I want to learn more about this, or I saw this opportunity as a way to kind of learn or enhance my skills in this. Things that will help you grow. That's all they want to hear. The next thing that they'll ask you is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? This is a freaking trick question. Mm-hmm. Because anybody who openly admits to their weaknesses is stupid. If you give them a list of strengths and then they say, what do you think your biggest weakness is? And then you give them a weakness and you just go into this whole backstory about it, this whole history lesson about it, they're going to sit there thinking that, am I really going to want to hire this person because they just said all these things they're not good at? Mm-hmm. You can trick them with something like, well, for me, one of my things is patience. I'm a very patient person, but sometimes that gets me into trouble, where I become too patient and wait on people for certain things. So one of my strengths would be, obviously, I'm very not patient. I'm a very patient person in terms of, making sure that the customer is comfortable and everything that I'm explaining to them, and making sure that, they know that they have the time to kind of think things over and whatnot. I also think that is a slight downfall in the sense where I should be pushing a little bit harder to make sure that they fully understand what it is that they're getting themselves into. You can wrap it around like that, so it's kind of like, oh, so it is something that they're really good at, but it's also something that they want to improve upon as well. Pay. You don't want to oversell. Obviously, the thing is, if you left a job that paid, an X amount of money, and you're going to a job that pays a little bit less, you want to at least start with what your last pay was,
and
be
hopefully
like,
work your way
and
up
hopefully be able to negotiate.
Honestly,
but don't immediately ask, what am I being paid?
No.
You should know. You should get an idea based off of the job description. Mm-hmm.
And if necessary, one of the nice things, I suppose, treading lightly, polite things that you can ask them is, usually it's like, well, what is the usual rate for this type of position in your company, specifically this company?
That's an easy segue.
Yes, into pay.
It's not too direct, but it shows that you're informative. You want to at least know kind of what you're getting yourself into. And if they throw it back in your face, like, well, what is it? Well, what pay are you looking to get? Then that's when it's kind of like, you don't want to say, oh, whatever's good. No, you don't want to say that. No. That's when you can start negotiating and say, the last position I had was at this, and I was looking to stay somewhere around that. And it's like, okay, well, we can work with it. I can talk to HR type. Availability. They will ask you on the spot, when are you available to start? If you are already working a job and you're switching to another one, always say 2 weeks. I would need at least 2 weeks notice to notify my manager at my current job. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, okay, they're not going to force you to be like, can you start Monday? And it's like, no. They're going to be respectful in that regard.
Right. But then they're going to, depending on the position, who knows how long the training process is going to be.
But if you are not working in a job and they ask you, when can you start? You can say, as soon as you need me. That's a good thing to say.
To show that I do have the actual time.
I have the time to come in and get trained. You always want to make sure that you put in your days. Mm-hmm. Days meaning that what days you are not available. Always put them in at the beginning. If it comes up afterwards and you get hired, you definitely want to let them know immediately. Usually there'll be big calendars where you can put your schedule in, or some people do computer stuff where you can input it and talk to your boss and whatnot. But availability is definitely something they're going to ask you in the interview.
Anyway, guys, so we hope this really just helped out someone. I'm sure someone somewhere could actually be using this information. God knows
and
I would like this.
And if you are able to use this information, well, guess what? Every Monday, we give out advice on how to be an adult in your 20s, adulting Mondays, just survive in your 20s in general.
That's right.
So if you want to know about that, underneath the video is a subscribe button. I can never say that word. It's like me trying to rap Snoop Dogg's second verse in, was it Ain't Nothing But a G
Yes.
thing? It's when he gets to the SNOOP thing. Every other time I can do it, when I can, I feel so shameful.
But it's hilarious.
Anyway, so that word is like that.
Subscribe in this area.
Box. And go over here if you like this video. And underneath, comment on if you like this video, what you want us to talk about on Mondays, or if you just want, to say, hey, I think you're great, I think you're awesome, I think your advice works. If it doesn't work, leave those comments at home. We don't want to hear it.
We don't want to hear that.
But
we'll right back.
If you want to know what we do every Monday, you gotta subscribe, gotta like, gotta comment.
And we will see you every Monday.
Also, follow us on our social media. In the description box, we have our social media handles for Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Follow us so you can get updates and behind-the-scenes stuff. And we'll see you next Monday. Shall we do an outro?
Yes. What would you like to do?
I thought you were supposed to make a list.
Oh. Wait, you're serious? Yeah. No. I can make one right. A list is coming next week, I swear.